Do you remember all the promises he made about the economy? Do you remember all the promises that he made when it came to day one, ending the war in Ukraine? Your eggs are going to be cheaper. Everything at the supermarket's going to be cheaper. Gas prices are going to drop. Your 401ks are going to soar through the roof. He said on day one. But now apparently a lot of these MAGA supporters are in the bunker and they must have Alzheimer's. I don't know, because Bazent today, this morning on national television, is claiming promises made, promises kept. Just give it another year. Have a listen to this.
Because what's really happened here is the low-end consumer has gotten killed, and President Trump is promises made, promises kept on his campaign promises, and it's going to start flowing through to working Americans next year. We're going to have, Wall Street's done great, and Main Street can do great also, so I think we're going to have parallel prosperity next year.
That's wonderful to hear. And Secretary, I want to thank you so much for all of your efforts. Obviously, it is making a huge difference for the American people.
There you go, making a huge difference. But now it's not on day one. Now all of a sudden, Bissent says it's next year. Whatever happened to the 90 deals in 90 days? You freaking lying turds, you. You lying turds, you. Donald Trump said on day one, and now all of a sudden Bissent says, oh, everything's going to be great next year. Yeah. Not day one like he promised, though, right? Sometime next year. Everything's going to be great for the American people at some point next year. Folks, you can't make this stuff up. I'm going to do this on day one. I'm going to do that on day one. Well, let's just give it a year. You guys will be okay next year. And, of course, the idiot on Fox News Business doesn't challenge him on that. Well, wait a second. Donald Trump said everything would change on day one. Oh, well, he meant next year. Just like we're going to get a replacement plan to Obamacare in 2 weeks. Then we're going to get a replacement plan in a month. Then 9 years later, no replacement plan. Yeah, I'm sure everything's just going to be just fine next year. Bissent, you freaking mega turd, you. Speaking of turds, Donald Trump himself. Remember when Donald Trump, I'm sure you do because we talk about this all the time. Remember when he was running for office a second time and he said he would end the Ukraine war just by picking up the phone and talking to his good pal, Vladimir Putin, that the war would be over in one day? Remember when he made those promises as well? And all you stupid morons out there that voted for him, you right-wing MAGA morons, I don't even know what else to call you anymore. I just ran out of names now, who voted for this guy thinking that the war would be over in a day, which no reasonable person with an IQ over 20 believed. Now all of a sudden, instead of saying the war is going to be over or Vladimir Putin wants peace, now he's just saying sometimes you just got to let him fight. That's the art of the deal. This is the amazing deal maker himself. Trying to end a war, claiming he's doing everything he can. Sometimes you just got to let him fight. Have a listen to this.
Work together to see if we can get something done. We agree the sides are, locked in and fighting, and sometimes you have to let them fight, I guess. Crazy. But he's going to help us, and we're going to work together on Ukraine. There's not a lot more we can do. He's been buying oil from Russia for a long time. It takes care of a big part of China. And I can say India's been very good on that front, but we didn't really discuss the oil. We discussed working together to see if we could get that war finished. It doesn't affect China, it doesn't affect us, and I'd like to see it done on the basis I don't like to see 6, 7, 8,000 young people, mostly young people, for the most part soldiers, be killed. It's not costing us anything. In fact, we make money, and I don't even want to talk about making money. I don't care about making money in that case. But, we send weapons to NATO. They buy full price. They buy the weapons. They give them to whoever, but I think they give them probably to Ukraine for the most part. And we discussed it. We discussed all that. We're going to work together to try and get the war with Russia and Ukraine solved.
Yeah, you're doing a great job, Mr. President. Sometimes you just have to let them fight. That's the words of the brilliant negotiator, the art of the deal, Donald J. Trump. Sometimes you just got to let them fight. I mean, I'm sorry. Wasn't it just 7 or 8 months ago where Donald Trump said he could end this war in a day? All he had to do was pick up the phone and speak to Vladimir Putin. Wasn't it Donald Trump who rolled out the red carpet on American soil for Vladimir Putin, and every single day Donald Trump says this man wants peace? There's another airstrike where innocent women and children are murdered. And Donald Trump now is just going to put his hands in the air and give up and say, sometimes you just have to let them fight. What a great negotiator, right? The art of the deal. I've ended 84 wars. What a frickin' joke this administration is, and the lie after lie after lie from Donald Trump is incredible. But give him the Nobel Peace Prize. This idiot doesn't even know why he wants to meet with Kim Jong-un. There are rumors circulating, and he was asked about it, the possibility of meeting with Kim Jong-un, who, by the way, just a few days ago, was testing their missiles just a few days ago. And Donald Trump's response to that is, well, they've been doing it for years, so, what's the big deal? This orange orangutan fool doesn't even know why he would be meeting with Kim Jong-un, because he's asked about it from a member of the media yesterday, and he can't even come up with a reason or name anything beyond their great relationship on why he would even meet with the evil, murderous dictator, Kim Jong-un. This is mesmerizing, folks. Have a listen to this.
Jong-un about setting up a meeting? Does he have a phone?
We never were able to talk because I was so busy. And really, this is why we came. I think it would have been maybe disrespectful to the importance of this meeting if we did that. So I'd come back with respect to Kim Jong-un. I'd come back.
What do you want to talk about with him?
I had a great relationship with Kim Jong-un. I think if I didn't get elected, you would have had, if Hillary Clinton came in at the time, he doesn't like too many people other than me, if you want to know the truth. I think he would have had a big war. Could have been a very bad war, too.
Was that the question that was asked? I'm sorry, Mr. President. I thought you were asked, what do you want to talk about with him? Donald Trump's response, we have a great relationship. I'm sorry, I get this with MAGA idiots who call into this show all the time, and I ask them a question, and they give me an answer to something else. The question wasn't, how is your relationship with Kim Jong-un? Now, if that was the question, then Donald Trump is entitled to his opinion. He can answer it that way. The question wasn't about his relationship. The question was, what are you going to be discussing with him? Donald Trump doesn't even know. He has no idea because he's a clueless buffoon. He has no idea. His health is deteriorating by the day. We don't know why he got an MRI. He can't answer the most basic of questions. Why are you meeting with Kim Jong-un? What are you going to talk about? Very fair question. You're meeting with an evil, murderous dictator from another country. Mr. President, we'd like to know why you're meeting with him. Like, what are you guys going to be talking about? You don't even have to go into specifics. Just give us general idea of what you're going to be talking about. Well, our relationship is very good. This is the President of the United States, who is beyond clueless, no idea what he's going to be talking about with Kim Jong-un. It is the epitome of an embarrassment. Speaking of embarrassments, Mike Johnson. I think Mike Johnson, by the way, has aged like 25 years in the last month. I don't know. I mean, I think you can see it on his face because every single day he has to lie. How Christian of him, and make excuses for why we're in a government shutdown and blame the Democrats because they can't get to 60 votes, unwilling to waver in any way, shape, or form and use the $5 billion in emergency funds to help those that are on food stamps, unwilling to take any responsibility, what is in this big and beautiful bill with the Medicaid cuts where 10 to 20, actually it's more like 20 million people in this country are going to lose their health care benefits. And he has to tap dance every single day, how Christian of him, and lie to the American people. And this is just another example of it. Listen to Mike Johnson when he's asked about Donald Trump's last administration shutdown, which happened in 2019. They did make sure that SNAP benefits went out, and that was on the table to strip that from American people. So the question is, why aren't you guys doing that again this time? Have a listen to this.
Speaker, during the last shutdown in 2019, it was the first Trump administration, and they made sure that in the second month of the shutdown, SNAP benefits would go out. They had them sent early. Why do you think they shouldn't do that this time?
Well, the president, this administration has done exactly what he did in the first term, and that is bend over backwards to make sure that we mitigate the harm. We explained here yesterday that any administration in a shutdown scenario has figuratively a control panel of pain dials. In the Obama administration, 2013, when they shut it down, they turned all the dials to 10. They wanted it to hurt. And so remember, famously, they put the yellow crime tape around the World War II memorial and prevented aging veterans from going and visiting these landmarks. They made it hurt. President Trump has done exactly the opposite. I mean, he's done everything he can. He's ordered all of his cabinet secretaries to mitigate the harm. So, for example, as you know, with WIC funding, they found a way to fund that with tariff revenue. We found a way to pay the troops once already in October, hopefully at the end of this month, by moving money around. But it's very difficult to do. Those are not inexhaustible funds. When it comes to SNAP, some of the Democrats have argued that you can use this contingency fund, but the truth is there's no legal mechanism to do it. Unlike with WIC funding that was attached to a 1930s era statute that was related to tariff funds because it was related to nutrition and food coming over the border, there's no such legal avenue to give SNAP funding now. It doesn't exist. The problem is the contingency and the authority to do that was voted down in the CR when the Democrats themselves did it. So the president has lamented this. He has informed USDA and everybody. Do as best you can, but the money doesn't exist to do it.
The money doesn't exist to do it. First of all, within that word salad, I don't know how many lies are in there. But as I've said before, and I say again, in an emergency situation like this one, they're sitting on $5 billion. All the Republicans have to do is say, okay, let's use those funds right now until we get this worked out. They refuse to do it. Why? Because they don't care about everyday Americans, including many of their constituents and some of them who voted these people in power. They don't care if they lose their food benefits and SNAP benefits, and they want to blame the Democrats for everything. Where, by the way, it couldn't be more from the truth. Which is the party that wants SNAP benefits in place? Which is the party that wants unemployment benefits and more of those unemployment benefits extended? Which is the party that is for maternity leave, welfare, food stamps, you name it? Basically, almost every single government program that's out there to help people that are in need, struggling people that are working and living paycheck to paycheck. The Democrats are the ones that have helped put those in place, and the Democrats are the ones that want to extend it. The Democrats are the ones that want to raise minimum wage. Republicans, basically, if they had it their way, would get rid of literally every government program to help people that are struggling. And this is just another example of that. This is a perfect example of what I am talking about. So if anybody tells you this is the Schumer shutdown, by the way, all Republicans would have to do is get rid of the filibuster, and they'd be able to do whatever they want. And this would be all over with. They won't do that either. I mean, even Tim Pool admitted that when I was on his show last week. So this is all on the Republicans. I've said it time and time again. The reason why Democrats won't get to 60 votes is because they don't want people stripped away of their health care. It's not because they want all these undocumented immigrants to get free health care. That's a lie. And yes, I've said it before and I'll say it again. If an undocumented immigrant is dropped off at the emergency room and is dying of a heart attack or in any dire straits, we should not be asking for their paperwork first. We should be doing everything we can to help them. Thank God that's happening right now in this country. But if MAGA Republicans had it their way, if someone is literally dying right before their eyes, if a brown person walks into the ER and is dying from another country, they would want, well, let's check your paperwork first. Otherwise, we're not going to give you life-saving care. These people are some of the worst people that America has to offer. It's despicable and it's disgusting.